We're live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India News, India's Voice to the World. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Coming up in the next hour. External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar to attend the funeral of former Prime Minister of Bangladesh Begum Khaleda Zia in Dhaka to convey India's condolences. United States announces fresh sanctions related to Iran and Venezuela over drone missile trade. Thailand releases 18 Cambodian soldiers captured in July after a fresh truce held for more than 3 days following weeks of deadly border clashes. In sports, India completes 5-0 series sweep over Sri Lanka after beating them in the 5th Women's T20 International at Thiruvananthapuram. And world set to ring in New Year. People excited to welcome year 2026 with enthusiasm, celebrations and fireworks. And on to the details now. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will attend the funeral of Bangladesh's first woman Prime Minister Khaleda Zia in Dhaka on Wednesday to convey India's condolences on her demise. Well, Khaleda Zia's funeral prayers will be held at 2 p.m. today at the South Plaza of the Jatiya Sangsad Bhavan on Manik Mia Avenue in the capital. She will be laid to rest beside her husband, former President Zia Rahman. Following her death, the Bangladesh government has declared 3 days of state mourning, with today being observed as a public holiday. The interim government said the entire funeral process, from transferring a body from Evercare Hospital to the burial, will be carried out with full state honours. Global leaders expressed condolences following the death of Khaleda Zia, recalling her significant legacy in Bangladesh's political journey. Earlier, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said he was deeply saddened after learning about the passing of Khaleda. While suffering from a raft of health issues, Zia was rushed to the hospital in late November, where her condition had gradually deteriorated despite treatment. Tariq Rahman, son of Khaleda Zia, who returned only last week after 17 years in exile, said in a statement, and I quote, "The country mourns the loss of a guiding presence that shaped its democratic aspirations. My mother endured repeated arrest, denial of medical care and relentless persecution, but never stopped sheltering her family with courage and compassion. Her resilience was unbreakable," unquote. Well, Begum Khaleda Zia was a towering figure in Bangladesh's politics. She led the Bangladesh Nationalist Party for decades and was the principal rival to Sheikh Hasina of the Awami League Party. Her remarkable political journey from widowhood to the nation's highest office shaped modern Bangladesh. The next report traces her life and legacy. Take a look.
Khaleda Zia, Bangladesh's first woman prime minister and three-time leader, has died in Dhaka at the age of 80. Her death marks the end of a political era. For decades, she and her arch-rival Sheikh Hasina dominated the nation's politics. Supporters call her the mother of. She boycotted a rigged presidential election, a move that helped boost her popularity. After the fall of the Irshad regime in December 1990, elections were held in Feb 1991, which the BNP won. Khaleda Zia became Bangladesh's first female prime minister and the second in the Muslim world after Pakistan's Benazir Bhutto. Her political life saw several ups and downs. The BNP briefly returned to power in 1996 and again in 2001. In 2006, Zia stepped down from office, handing over power to a caretaker administration. In September 2007, she was arrested on what her party claimed were baseless charges of corruption. In 2018, she was sentenced to 5 years in jail in a Zia orphanage trust case and later received a 7-year sentence in the Zia charitable trust case. In 2024, a day after Sheikh Hasina was ousted from power, Zia was granted a presidential pardon and released. The following day, she returned to politics with a massive rally, breathing new life into the BNP despite her ailing health. Her son, Tariq Rahman, who's currently BNP's acting chairman, recently returned home after living in London in self-exile since 2008. Zia was born on 15th August 1946 to Tayyaba and Iskandar Mazumdar in Dinajpur district in undivided India. Her father migrated from Jalpaiguri, where the family ran a tea business, to what was East Pakistan after the partition.
And for more on this, we have DD India's Naval Singh Parmar joining us from Dhaka. Well, Naval Singh, with Bangladesh observing a period of mourning right now after the death of its first woman Prime Minister Khaleda Zia, what security measures are in place for the state funeral right now, and who are the key dignitaries expected to be present?
Begum Khaleda Zia's funeral will be held today at around 2 p.m. Before that, her body was shifted from Evercare Hospital to the Gulshan residence with the tight security arrangement. BGB and the police personnel and the armed police battalion have been deployed. More than 10,000 police personnel have been deployed at various points on her route to the final destination where she will be buried at the South Plaza of Jatiya Sansad, Bangladesh Parliament. On key points and key location, army also deployed. There are many dignitaries, foreign dignitaries, including our foreign minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, Nepal, foreign minister of Nepal, Sri Lanka and Bhutan, and the speaker of Pakistan National Assembly and Maldives minister are also coming. So security arrangements.
Thailand pledged to cease fire, freeze troop movements and cooperate on demining efforts along their disputed frontier. And DD India's Akhilesh Suman joins us for more on this. Well, Akhilesh, with both sides releasing captured soldiers and the ceasefire holding for several days, how fragile can this truce be given the history of repeated flare-ups along the Thailand-Cambodia border again and again?
You know, these are the border disputes, and border disputes don't die so soon. We have seen that right from 2015, after the ICJ gave verdict about the Priya temple, that is a Shiva temple basically, in favor of Cambodia, the land around that was not demarcated properly. So they have a very long border, and that border has to be demarcated for any permanent peace between Thailand and Cambodia. Other than that, you know, that Cambodia goes in the side of China, and Thailand is in the side of USA. The US-China role is also somehow makes the situation fragile. And the third thing, that the provocations and the nationalistic jargons in both the countries, like Search movement in Thailand.
Right.
They all the time, try to, provoke the government that yes, we have to claim our rights along the border. And that because of lack of demarcated border, some soldiers cross from this side to that side, and that creates panic among both the sides, especially in the military establishment. And then lastly, the fourth thing is that there has been landmines for long time, Khmer Rouge time on the Cambodia-Thailand border. And people say that those old landmines have not been demined till now. So that is a major problem, that sometimes those landmines comes out and then they explode, and it causes hurt to the Thai soldiers. So in that situation, that you cannot say that this truth is very permanent.
Right.
But one has to work very, very, very consistently to create a situation where people of both the sides don't need to flee from their homes. Millions of people have to leave their homes and stay in the safe shelter. That becomes very dehumanizing situation. So I think let us keep the watch and let us keep the fingers crossed that this truce lasts long and then short.
Right. Akhilesh, as you said that the border issues doesn't die easily, given that the conflict is rooted in colonial era border demarcations and competing claims over the ancient temple sites, how realistic is a long-term resolution without revisiting the historical treaties or seeking international arbitration there?
That is what, ASEAN is a major, stakeholder in the whole area. And India also has been telling that ASEAN should be the central in making any, negotiation between Thailand and Cambodia. Other than that, recently China has negotiated between Thailand and Cambodia. And after that, this truce has been, established. So in that situation, history always, creates problem for everyone sometimes. Especially when there are monuments, there are borders, there are critical infrastructure. So I think in that way you need very rational people in both the sides, and also your international, observers, your international allies, like India. India has been, giving help in renovating the Cambodian temple. So in that temple was, hurt in the last month. India made a statement that those are the international, you can say that heritage, and those heritage should not be hurt in any conflict between the two countries. So I think everyone has to come in a fair way to seek a long-term peace. But diplomacy should be given primacy than nationalistic pressure inside both the countries, and also both the government would have to, because they are neighbors. They have to live together. They cannot change the map on the earth. That they have to live together side by side. So in that way, let us wait that saner elements prevail in both the countries, so that the truce, the agreement, the settlements are long-lasting,
All right. Thank you so much, Akhilesh, for all those details. And still to come on DD India Newshour. Protests continue across Iran over currency collapse and high inflation rate. Government offers dialogue. Colombian president says U.S. bombed a suspected cocaine factory in Venezuela's Maracaibo. Head-on train clash near Peru's Machu Picchu kills a driver, injures dozens. Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lepakshi Kuran, and moving on, the Trump administration on Tuesday announced sanctions against Iran and Venezuela, targeting companies that have been involved in the production and sale of drones. The U.S. Treasury Department took aim at 10 individuals and entities based in Venezuela and Iran over issues including purchases of Iranian-designed drones. Now, the administration is also sanctioning 3 Iran-based individuals in connection with efforts to acquire chemicals for ballistic missiles, as well as 2 companies and 3 people in Iran with connections to Iran's UAV and aerospace program. Among those impacted are Venezuelan company Empresa Aeronautic National SA and its chair, Jose Jesus Urdaneta Gonzalez, which it said have acquired Iranian-designed UAVs. Also, the new sanctions come as President Trump has ramped up pressure on Venezuela by imposing sanctions on embattled President Nicolas Maduro and ordering military strikes on a facility he said was used as a dock for alleged drug boats. Now, the U.S. officials said the sanctions are intended to disrupt Iran-Venezuela cooperation that supports Tehran's military-industrial complex. Trump on Monday also warned to strike Iran if leaders pursue a nuclear weapon. And Colombian President Gustavo Petro on Tuesday said that the United States bombed a suspected drug factory in Venezuela's port city of Maracaibo. In the social media post, the Colombian president suggested the facility was operated by the ELN guerrilla group, which partially controls the cocaine-producing Catatumbo region on the border of Venezuela. Petro's comments came a day after Trump confirmed the United States struck a docking area for alleged drug boats in Venezuela. Earlier, Trump on Monday said the U.S. strikes happened in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs. Also, the Venezuela's government has not made any official comment on the land strike. The Trump administration has been ramping up pressure on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, accusing him of running a drug cartel and imposing an oil tanker blockade. Washington has also carried out over 30 strikes on boats alleged to be carrying drugs in the Caribbean Sea and Eastern Pacific Ocean, killing over 100 people. And China fired rockets into waters of Taiwan on Tuesday, showcased new assault ships and dismissed prospects of U.S. and allied intervention to block any future attack by Beijing to take control of the island in its most extensive war games to date. As part of drills rehearsing a blockade, China's Eastern Theater Command conducted 10 hours of live fire exercises, launching rockets into waters to the north and south of the democratically governed island. Chinese naval and air force units also simulated strikes on maritime and aerial targets and carried out anti-submarine drills around the island. Named Justice Mission 2025, the drills began 11 days after the U.S. announced a record $11.1 billion arms package to Taiwan, drawing the Chinese Defense Ministry's ire and warnings that the military would take forceful measures in response. And the world is also reacting to China's ongoing war games around Taiwan. Germany stressed that the stability of Taiwan Strait is crucial for international security and prosperity. Any change to Taiwan's status quo must be peaceful and mutually agreed. France reiterated its commitment to peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait, which are essential to global security and prosperity, while the leaders of the U.S. House of Representatives Select Committee on China said that the drills are intended to intimidate Taiwan and other democracies in the region and to undermine peace and stability across the Indo-Pacific. An Iranian student staged a street protest in Tehran on Tuesday, a day after the capital's shopkeepers demonstrated against economic hardship. According to a news agency associated with Iran's labor movement, protests erupted at 10 universities across the country, including 7 in Tehran. Protests also broke out at the Technology University in the central city of Isfahan and institutions in the cities of Yazd and Zanjan. On Tuesday, security forces and riot police were deployed at major intersections in Tehran and around some universities, while some of the shops closed and the previous day in the capital center had reopened. President Masoud Pezeshkian met on Tuesday with labor leaders and made proposals to tackle the economic crisis. Also early on Monday, the government announced the replacement of the central bank governor with former economy and finance minister Abdul Nasser Himati. And the United Arab Emirates pulling its remaining forces out of Yemen after Saudi Arabia backed a call for UAE forces to leave within 24 hours, deepening a crisis between the two Gulf powers and the oil producers. Now, hours earlier, Saudi-led coalition forces had attacked the southern Yemeni port of Mukalla. The airstrike on what Riyadh said was a UAE-linked weapon shipment was the most significant escalation to date in a widening rift between the two Gulf monarchies. In Washington, the U.S. State Department said Secretary of State Marco Rubio spoke with the Saudi and UAE foreign ministers about tensions in Yemen and other issues affecting security in the Middle East. And a train driver was killed and 40 more people were injured on Tuesday after two trains collided head-on on the railway leading to the Inca citadel of Machu Picchu, the Andean nation's top tourist site that draws well over 1 million visitors each year. Police are investigating the collision between trains operated by Inca Rail and Peru Rail, which mainly transport tourists to the iconic site. A health official said about 20 people were in relatively serious condition. A police officer added that foreign tourists were among the injured. Images posted after the crash showed the badly damaged locomotives facing each other on the track, broken glass strewn around, and injured people being treated on the sides of the tracks. And moving on, Bulgaria is set to adopt the euro on January 1st next year, making it the 21st member state of the Eurozone. The European Central Bank building in Frankfurt is illuminated in the colors of Bulgaria as Sofia prepares to adopt the euro. As Bulgaria gears up for its anticipated adoption of the euro, public opinion remains divided on the implications of joining the single currency. While some economists and professionals applauded the move as a step towards deeper integration with the European Union, others warned of potential economic challenges for everyday Bulgarians. And now let's take a look at other stories making news around the world today. Denmark's state-run postal service, PostNord, delivered its final letter on Tuesday, bringing an end to more than 400 years of traditional mail delivery as the country fully embraces digital communication. With this move, Denmark becomes the first country in the world to officially decide that physical letter delivery is no longer essential or economically sustainable in the digital age. Robbers drilled into the vault of a German savings bank and stole cash, gold and jewelry worth an estimated $35 million. The heist took place in the western city of Gelsenkirchen, where the thieves broke open more than 3,000 safe deposit boxes at a Sparkus branch before escaping. Well, London is preparing for its biggest New Year's Eve fireworks display set to launch at midnight from three Thames barges and the London Eye. Around 12,000 fireworks will light up the 12-minute show. Crews are working against the clock to have everything ready for the midnight countdown. New York City is stepping up security ahead of the Times Square New Year's Eve celebration. The New York Police Department said this year's operation will be larger than last year's, and also the measures are in place to ensure the safety of everyone attending the celebrations. And still to come on DD India Newshour. A look back at Prime Minister Modi's 2025 landmark visits. India's Election Commission revises schedule for special intensive revision exercise in Uttar Pradesh. And dense fog blankets North India, disrupts travel and flights.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy, always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India. Welcome to DD India, where 1 billion voices unite, connecting viewers to the stories that matter. India is not just another news channel. It's the international channel that puts the spotlight on the global south, bringing you stories from the heart of emerging economies, dynamic cultures, and transformative voices. As the international news channel of India's public broadcaster Prasar Bharati, DD India delivers high-quality content from every corner of the globe, focusing on the stories that shape our future. We don't just report news. We connect you to India's voice in the global narrative, from current affairs to culture, from economic growth to sustainable development, and the ever-evolving world order. DD India gives you a comprehensive view of the world around us. Stay connected, stay informed, and embrace the stories that shape our lives. DD India. India's voice to the world.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lipakshi Kuran, and time now for a quick recap of the headlines. External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar to attend the funeral of former Prime Minister Bangladesh Begum Khaleda Zia in Dhaka to convey India's condolences. United States announces fresh sanctions related to Iran and Venezuela over drone missile trade. Thailand releases 18 Cambodian soldiers captured in July after a fresh truce held for more than 3 days following weeks of deadly border clashes. In sports, India completes 5-0 series sweep over Sri Lanka after beating them in the 5th Women T20 International at Thiruvananthapuram. And world set to ring in New Year. People excited to welcome year 2026 with enthusiasm, celebrations and fireworks. Well, moving on, the Election Commission of India has issued revised dates for the ongoing special intensive revision in North Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. As per the revised schedule, the draft publication of the electoral roll will now be made on the 6th of January 2026. Earlier, the draft electoral roll was to be published on the 31st of December 2025. The period for receiving claims and objections will remain open from 6th of January to 6th of February 2026. The final publication of Uttar Pradesh's electoral roll will be done on the 6th of March. The SIR process concluded in the state of December 26th. All enumeration forms have been received and digitized. And now some weather updates from parts of India. Cold and foggy conditions continue to prevail across North India, with dense fog reducing visibility in several regions. Dense fog has engulfed the national capital as well. The visuals from Chandni Chowk and several other parts of Delhi show zero visibility in the morning amid cold weather conditions. Several cities in Uttar Pradesh, including Prayagraj, Lucknow and Mathura, are facing cold waves and are covered in fog, significantly affecting visibility on roads and highways. The thick blanket of fog is causing disruptions for commuters to navigate through the affected areas. Dense fog envelops Sukhna Lake in Chandigarh, with migratory birds swimming in the chilly waters. According to Indian Meteorological Department, dense fog conditions are likely to spread during morning and night hours at isolated pockets over Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh. Well, dense fog has also disrupted boat services at Chilika Lake in Odisha on the last day of the year, affecting tourist movement in the area. Poor visibility forced authorities to suspend operations as a safety measure. Several flights at Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport were delayed due to dense fog, impacting both arrivals and departures. Low visibility disrupted operations during the early hours. Authorities advised passengers to check flight updates before traveling. As North India is currently undergoing a winter spell, Jammu and Kashmir continues to experience low temperatures, and the Kashmir Valley has been gripped by intense cold. According to Met Department, the Union Territory is expected to receive rain or snowfall at many places on December 31st and January 1st, with the middle and higher reaches likely to receive moderate snowfall in the central and northern parts of the Kashmir Valley. Well, as we told you, North India is currently undergoing a winter spell, and the 40-day-long period of harsh winter cold called the Chilai Kalan started on December 21st, 2025 and will end on the 30th of January 2026. And for more, we have Shabir joining us from Srinagar itself. Well, Shabir, with dense fog engulfing North India, how are the weather conditions out there?
It is biting cold in Srinagar, as I am standing out in Srinagar outskirts, and you can see the fog behind me, and the chill is already very piercing. Bold, dry chill is here. But in the mountainous regions, and particularly the tourist spots like Gulmarg, Sonmarg, there is white carpet and people are enjoying the white snow there. And remember, the Met Department has predicted light to heavy snowfall and rains in parts of Kashmir from this evening. So the new year is coming with a promise of better future for the tourism in Kashmir, because the snow in Kashmir is synonymous with bumper winter tourism. So as we are bracing up for the snowy New Year, the tourists are enjoying in places like Gulmarg and Sonmarg. We have seen that these places are full with tourists this time. The hoteliers are happy. They are saying that they are making the losses they suffered in the 2025 with the fact that there's a slump in tourism. So the winter chill is there, the snow is here, and the tourism is doing very good here. Yeah.
All right, Shabir, with tourists there in full swing and with the new year set to kick in just a few hours, tell us about the preparations you see all around and the enthusiasm of the people.
Yeah, the preparation is, in the full swing. The UT administration, the Jammu and Kashmir administration is organizing winter festivals in almost all tourist spots, be it on the iconic Dal Lake in Srinagar, where a festival was organized to showcase the Kashmir's handicrafts and culture as an attraction for tourists. Similarly, in Gulmarg, a mega winter carnival is underway on the eve of New Year. Already the tourists have arrived there, and that is acting as a major attraction for the tourist footfall. Similarly, in Pahalgam, the winter festival is already underway. So that means that the administration is in full swing to attract tourists this winter to Kashmir, and every preparation is in place, be it the precautionary advisories which has been issued by the Met Department owing to the fact that there is going to be snow in plains of Kashmir from this evening. So people have been advised, particularly the tourists, to venture cautiously towards the mountainous regions, because it becomes slippery and dangerous for tourists to travel to mountains when it snows.
All right, Shabir, thank you so much for all that information from Srinagar. And as 2025 draws to a close, Team DD India takes a look back at the year that tested India's economic resilience and revealed its ambition. From tariff shocks and global trade turbulence to record-breaking growth and digital transformation, India's journey unfolded month by month. It was a year of transformation and laying the foundation for a $5 trillion future. This is a story about how India turned challenge into triumph. Take a look.
"2025 saw India's economy prove its resilience and ambition. From tariff shocks in January to record-breaking growth in December,
The story unfolded month by month, showing a nation on the rise. The year began with global trade wars reigniting. Tariffs disrupted supply chains and exporters faced turbulence. India seized the moment, positioning itself as an alternative hub, diversifying markets and accelerating export promotion missions. By March, reforms under Atmanirbhar Bharat provided fresh incentives for manufacturing and electronics. These measures cushioned the blow of external shocks, strengthening domestic demand and reducing reliance on volatile global flows. April brought sharper challenges. US tariffs on Indian goods doubled, slashing exports by nearly 30%. India responded swiftly, supporting textiles and gems while expanding trade with ASEAN and Africa. By June, the payoff was clear. India announced it had overtaken Japan to become the world's fourth largest economy, the GDP crossing 331 lakh crore rupees. A symbolic moment, marking India's arrival among the world's economic giants. India's digital revolution reached new heights, with UPI processing more than 18 billion transactions in July alone, cementing India's position as the global leader in fast cashless payments. In August, the International Monetary Fund confirmed India's GDP at $4.18 trillion, ranking fourth worldwide and contributing nearly 4% of global output. India's GDP grew at 8.2% for the second quarter of fiscal year 2025-26. This was due to timely GST reforms combined with continued capex infusion. Manufacturing and services led the surge, proving India's growth was structural.
So I think the GDP growth story is largely India-driven. I think we also gave stimulus in terms of GST rate cuts. Before that, I think the income tax rates had been brought down, and together with that, I think we have support for the rural economy. So, and monsoons have been reasonably good. So all these factors did support India's growth. I think so. India is largely a domestically driven economy.
By October, inflation fell to just 0.25% year-on-year, the lowest in the current CPI series. At the same time, exports rose nearly 5%, showing resilience even in the turbulent global trade environment. The index of industrial production rose nearly 4% in November, with manufacturing up nearly 5% and construction surging more than 7%.
So if I aggregate October and November, both months, there is a growth in merchandise exports, despite all the global turmoil. All the levers of the economy have demonstrated a great deal of positivity.
By December, India's nominal GDP stood at 343 lakh crore rupees. Real growth averaged 6.6% for the year. Exports reached a record $825 billion. Services exports $387 billion, and cumulative foreign direct investment crossed the $1 trillion mark. The message was clear. India's economy was not just growing, it was transforming. India's booming economy is now firmly on the path to $5 trillion, and within the next decade, poised to stand among the world's top 3. Bureau Report, DD India.
All right, and Team DD India also looks back at a year that blended faith, courage and progress. From a spiritual surge at Prayagraj to decisive moments in Paris and Tianjin, our team of correspondents brought every story with truth and clarity. This special report by Sujata Lochab captures a year when headlines turned into history. Take a look.
Tell us first of all, how was International Space Station?
Another eventful year draws to a close. From spiritual confluence at Prayagraj to the strategic corridors of Paris and Tianjin, 2025 will be remembered as a year when moments turned into history. Through every headline, DD India stayed true to its mission: authentic, verified and deeply human storytelling.
India is just great. I mean, we came to Kumbh Mela.
It was very organized till the point we had to take the bath.
The year began at Triveni Sangam, where over 66 crore devotees gathered for Mahakumbh, nearly twice the population of the United States.
Faith for the
For
millions
45
of
sacred
devotees
days,
who are attending.
faith flowed through Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati as we brought the viewers every face and every story from the river of devotion. From Prayagraj, we journeyed to Ayodhya. In November, Prime Minister Narendra Modi hoisted the saffron Dharma Dhwaj at Ram Janmabhoomi Temple, a moment of spiritual unity that touched the soul of the nation. And in July, the sacred Viprava Buddha relics returned home after 127 years, completing a long journey from colonial loss to cultural pride. But 2025 also tested our collective strength. On April the 22nd, terror struck Pahalgam, taking 26 innocent lives. The nation stood as one with resolve, sorrow and defiance.
With India by targeting
Soon after, Operation Sindoor struck deep into terror networks across Pakistan, and Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Our defense correspondents chronicled India's firm and precise response, a story of courage and clarity.
India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau.
June brought heartbreak again with Air India flight AI 171 crashing in Ahmedabad. 241 lives were lost. Amid grief and confusion, our reports stood for truth and respect, focusing on facts, not fear.
Everything happened in my eye.
It was journalism with empathy when the nation needed compassion more than noise.
Prime Minister Modi in French.
On the global stage, India's leadership shone with the Horizon 2047 roadmap. From Paris, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Macron co-chaired the AI Action Summit, to Tianjin for the 25th SCO Summit, Lady India was there, capturing the strategic depth and the vision of confident India. The year ended with the 23rd India-Russia Summit, where President Putin's visit marked a forward shift from defense to future energy and agriculture partnerships. It was also a year of innovation and infrastructure. The majestic Chenab Rail Bridge, the tallest in the world, stood as a symbol of engineering brilliance. Our coverage, Bridge to Prosperity, celebrated progress in every sense.
Height of 359 meters.
At the India Mobile Congress, we explored 5G, 6G and India's digital expansion.
1,300 had taken place during these 4 days, and there were also important MOUs.
In Mumbai, Wave Summit showcased how AVGC XR sector is setting India's creative future in motion.
So many, there'll be so many guidelines.
And as always, the nation tuned into Doordarshan for moments that unite India. From the Republic Day parade at Kartavya Path to Prime Minister's address on Independence Day, outlining his vision for Developed India 2047.
The 6th edition of Khelo India Youth Games.
Our eyes were also on the youth. From Khelo India Youth Games in Bihar to local fields across the country, we captured grit, dreams and the power of sport. Beyond politics and policy, we reported stories that stirred the heart, including the solemn farewell to Pope Francis at the Vatican, attended by President Draupadi Murmu.
Legendary actor, director and producer
And we ended the year with two inspiring voices. Cinema legend Mohanlal reflecting on storytelling's timeless evolution, and Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, India's first ISS astronaut, whose journey reminded us that for India, even the sky is not the limit.
One man heading to space.
That's 2025. Faith, fight, flight, and forever forward. DD India doesn't chase noise, we deliver what is real. Thank you for trusting us this year. From all of us here at DD India, thank you for watching and have a purposeful and peaceful New Year. Sujata Lochar for DD India.
And still to come in DD India Newshour. Prime Minister Modi congratulates Grandmaster Arjun Erigaisi for winning the bronze at the FIDE World Blitz Chess Championship in Doha.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Johar. Johar. It fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout ho gaya.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lepakshi Kuranan. On to some sports news now. India clinched a 5-0 whitewash over Sri Lanka in the Women T20 International Series, winning the final match in Thiruvananthapuram by 15 runs. Harmanpreet Kaur's fluent 68 and Arundhati Reddy's late hitting parred the host to 775 for 7. Sri Lanka's stays faltered after captain Chamari Atapattu fell early, though Imesha Dulani's 50 and Hasini Pereira 65 kept them in contention. With the required run rate climbing above 11, India's disciplined bowling attack, led by Reddy and Amarjot Kaur, restricted the visitors to 160 for loss of 7 wickets. The sweep, in a way, showcased India's batting depth and bowling consistency, providing ideal momentum ahead of the T20 World Cup in England next June. And former cricketer Isa Goha, the first woman of South Asian descent to appear for England in any sport, was awarded an MBE in the King's New Year's honours for services to inclusivity and cricket. A two-time World Cup winner, Guha played 8 women tests, 83 ODIs and 22 T20 internationals, taking a combined 148 wicket with her bustling medium pace. Guha bid adieu to international cricket on March 9, 2012. Guha played a key role in England's win in both the 50-over World Cup and the T20 World Cup in 2009. She was also part of England's 2 women Ashes triumphs in 2005 and 2007 to 2008, taking her career best match figures of 9 for 100 at Bowral. Since her retirement from cricket, Guha returned to commentary following the footsteps of some of her contemporaries like Anjum Chopra and Lisa Staliker. An Indian Grandmaster Arjun Erigaisi won the bronze medal at the FIDE World Blitz Championship 2025 in Doha on Tuesday. He topped the standings in the open Swiss round but was knocked out in the semi-finals. The 22-year-old had won the bronze in the Rapid Championship as well, making him the first since Vishwanathan Anand to secure 2 medals at the World Championship. Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also extended his heartfelt congratulations to Indian Grandmaster Arjun Erigaisi for winning the bronze at the FIDE World Blitz Chess Championship in Doha. PM Modi took to social media handle X and posted, "India's strides in chess continue. Congratulations to Arjun Erigaisi for winning the bronze at the FIDE World Blitz Chess Championship in Doha, following his bronze medal in FIDE Rapid Chess Championship recently. His skills, patience and passion are exemplary. His successes will continue to inspire youth. My best wishes to him," unquote. Well, the year 2025 unfolded as a powerful mosaic of devotion, diplomacy, development and deep human connection. From Operation Sindoor to heartfelt moments with people to historic acts of civilizational pride like the Dhwaj-Rohan Utsav in Ayodhya, the year reflected India's soul in motion. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's journey spanned sacred temples, border regions, major infrastructure milestones and people-centric programs. Take a look. All right, that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.